Hi, J. Frederick Smith here, Continental Realty of Jacks, and we are at 8306 Eaton Avenue. And as always, I'm just going to give you a quick glimpse up and down the road in front of this house so you get an idea of what the neighborhood looks like. I know you already saw at least how it looks coming in, but you know, always good to stop and check out the neighborhood to see what your neighbors look like across the street and down just a little bit, who you have next door to you. So what we've got is a big old furry orange Tom. Hello there, buddy. How are you doing, little buddy? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and walk around the outside of this house so you can see what the exterior looks like. First off, the lot is not very big in the front, but it's not super tiny either. Definitely could be smaller. Single car garage, all brick in the front. Looks like the roof is new. I say that because of the trim. You can see that trim has no debris or mold or moss or anything on it. The brickwork all looks really nice. Freshly painted. New, or else at least, well, freshly painted shutters. You know, they're just a feature. They're not really usable. Vents are bricked in a way that makes it really nice to prevent animal access, at least on the front. So let's continue on around the side here. So it looks like we might have a poured cement foundation. That's a perimeter foundation. And we do have some vent work there. That's nice. We'll see what the floors look like inside, because you know, when you have a foundation like this, or this is a cement block actually, cement block foundation, that means that the floors are wood. And if the floors are wood, then termites and other things can cause you problems. We do have some older paint here on some of the lap siding up above the brick. The paint, where it's flaking off, is lead-based paint. That tells you a little bit about the age of the house. So lead-based paint stopped being illegal in 78. So anything 78 or older can have that lead-based paint. All right, there's been a little settling, and you can see that here in this corner, the crack in the cinder block and the separation between the blocks shows that there has been a little settling in this corner. And once again, that's not necessarily a problem. You're going to have settling, especially in an older home, since we build mostly in Jacksonville on sand. It's really hard to keep a house from settling when you're building on sand. All of the eaves and soffits look clean and painted. Looks like there might be a gap up here that could be caulked just to seal that up. Windows are all single pane aluminum windows from the 70s. So the backyard, we haven't really looked at that yet. Hello, dog. The backyard is pretty good sized with a lot of mature trees on the property. We have a bunch of different ones here. Maybe we've got a pecan. We've definitely got a couple of coastal pines that are sticking up really nice and high. There is a storage shed and a white wood privacy fence in the back. Now, the thing here is that, you know, you're not going to get any grass. There's just too much as far as tree debris coming down and too much shade to be able to get grass back here. That means you won't have to mow, you know, because all you got is pine needles. But at the same time, you know, if you wanted some grass, you're going to have to do something about maybe removing a couple of these trees. Now, one of them already has had an issue, as you can see, where it broke off probably in a storm, rotted and broke off. And that's something that can happen, but I wouldn't necessarily expect it. However, considering the number of trees that you have here and the look of some of these trees, looking up into this pine here, this tree leans right towards your house. And that's a widowmaker up there. That's what that's called. You see all of the bark is off of that branch, and that guy is going to come down. And when it does, you know, it's going to hit like a semi-truck, whatever it lands on. So hopefully there's nobody, you know, in the grass down here below that guy when it falls, because it's definitely going to fall. It's already shattered. So I would definitely be interested in having a tree guy come out and check the trees that you have here in the back, simply because there's so many of them and they're so big, and they are leaning towards the house. This one does too. This coastal pine is huge, but look what it does. It's got this arch here, leans right towards the house. So if this guy falls, more than likely, because of the weight is up at the top, more than likely it's going to fall on that house. And I'm not saying that it's going to fall on the house. I'm saying that you know, you want to make sure that you have a chance to get a tree guy out. You would want to do that to check to make sure it's not going to be an issue. You know, these trees last for a long, long time. It might actually outlive the house. You don't have a privacy fence on either of the sides, just chain link, but at least they are fenced. And that brings us to the side of the house here, where we've got our water main coming in. I'm looking at a PVC water main. Below that I see the galvanized, so that means that, you know, this is a replacement for what was here originally. With it exposed like this, you know, I don't know, I guess it's okay. It's not a problem really, but maybe you could do something to cover that up. It's just kind of unsightly. You can see the original galvanized down here in the ground still, just kind of sitting right on the surface. Okay, so let's get around to the front. And then we're going to head on in, and we'll see what the news is on the inside of the property. Here we go.